Hello Monster Hunters, so I got another extra video coming to you guys, and there's going to be lots of extra videos for this one actually. So we've been collecting monsters, we've been harvesting their parts in order to make magical items, but the next video series that I'm going to do is actually going to be using those monsters that we collect as the magic items. That's right, we're going to be doing a Pokemon Nuzlocke challenge on this channel. So I want to let you guys know that here are the rules. So normal Nuzlocke, you only catch the first Pokemon you encounter. You give them each nicknames. If they faint, they're gone forever. You go to the box and you release them. Um, so with that, I think that's the main rules. The other rules that I'm going to be using is I can only use a Pokemon Center once. So that means no going back to heal multiple times, so no grinding. We have to be careful of those power points. And that also means that I can't switch out my party freely. That means I can only switch Pokemon in my party once each time I come to a new Pokemon Center. Items are fine. We're not going to do the shiny clause, so if I see a shiny, it's dead. It has a disease, we have to kill it. Unless it's the first encounter, in which case we catch the diseased Pokemon. The other rule is the dupes clause, so if the first encounter is a duplicate, it doesn't count, and we go to the next one until we get something that's not the same as something that we've already caught. Alright, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Nuzlocks are one of my favorite things to do, and I feel it's still on theme, so let's use these little monsters as our magic items. Alright, enjoy the show. Let's roll it out. So, here we are, talking to Rowan. He's asking me all sorts of stuff that I'm not listening to, but there is that briefcase that has a bunch of stuff in it that I'm real excited to see. First Pokemon I see, Turtwig, but no, I don't want no grass type. I'm going with Chimchar, because monkeys are awesome. And I also like Infernape from the 4th gen. So Rowan goes off and does some stuff, and I'm left here with Lich, my rival, and he's all like, let's battle. This battle, pretty easy. Um, I'm lying, it was not easy. I was real worried the entire time. I didn't want to lose my first match. So I take some time to think about it. I decide to leer first to kind of get his attack or his defense lowered so I can kill him in fewer shots so I could win that race. But Lich, being my rival, being as smart as he was, he decides to growl, negating everything I do. I kind of banked on a crit because it would go through the growl, the attack lowers from the growl, but would still affect his defense, his weakened defense. So I ponder between Leer and Scratch, do another Leer, hoping that he doesn't growl, but he does, and I'm real upset. But luckily, my Chinchar is doing great. He's handling it. He's cutting up the little Piplup. Like all this time, I'm thinking, what could my Chimchar's name be? What could it be? And I think back to Blazing Sword, Fire Emblem, the first Fire Emblem game I played, and he's like, all right, he's gonna be my star. He's gonna be the main character. His name's gonna be Durandal, just like Ellawood's legendary item at the end. And as I do that, Lich, my rival, he starts talking, and I kind of ignore it, and I just keep punching out this little Piplup. Yeah. A lot of scratches, a lot of nothing's going on. So I kind of just wait. And it's real stressful. I see my hit points get real down to 3 hit points. But he's also low, so I just fall through a scratch, and I win the first match. It's real rough. I get a level out of it. I'm real stoked. I don't pay attention to what my stat boosts were. And I'm real excited to start this journey with my Chimchar. Can't wait to see how we crush all the competition. Lich takes me back home, heals up my Pokemon. and Mom starts talking to me, telling me about how I am so lucky to have a Pokemon, that she never got a Pokemon, that she's jealous. So I start going. The game starts giving me tutorials, and I'm like, I don't need that. I want to check out my new Pokemon. And Chimchar, he's a brave nature. He's strong-willed and he's brave. It's just perfect for me. Perfect to complete whatever goal I need to. He's got a nice spread of stats. Good offense. He's a little bit slower than most Chimchars, but that's fine. He likes spicy food, so I can't wait to give him some spicy poffins. I march out. Lich is all like, we need to go check out Lake Verity. So we go over there as fast as we can, sprinting over there. And we pop up and we see this weird dude with blue hair doing all sorts of stuff. He tells us to move away, and well, we're 10, so we listen to him. He's telling me how to pronounce Pokeballs with the accents. Here's my first Pokemon battle. I go up against Bidoof, and I kill it with one crit. So I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm feeling like things aren't going to be as tough as that first battle. I go around scratching some Bidoofs, trying to get a few more levels, because I don't know. I haven't played this game in so long. I don't know what's going to be happening. And then Durandal learns Ember, and I'm real excited about that because it's good to be able to get around Pokemon that use Harden. It's going to be able to let me take out any bug or grass types that I come across. And then I finally catch up with Rowan, and this is where I finally name my Chimchar Durandal. But there is a curse that I only find out about later. As you look, you'll see that I actually end up misspelling Durandal, and this lays a curse upon me and several Pokemon that are going to be coming up. So I don't know if I've broken the curse yet, but here's hoping that it breaks soon. Don and Rowan are telling me a bunch of stuff that I'm not listening to. I get a Pokedex, so I'm ready to start collecting data so that I can get those cool items from his aides. His assistants, not aides. There was a very funny, I don't want to be stealing South Park's jokes, have them copyright strike me. And then I get a cool little TM that I don't care for. It's called Return. It's supposed to increase damage when your Pokemon really likes you. And now I'm kind of just like wondering what to do. Go inside. I stock up all my items with the money my mom gave me and the money I won from Lich. I get 10 Pokeballs because I'm ready to catch a bunch of Pokemon. Get some potions because I can only use each Poke Center once. So I'm really going to need to heal up all my Pokemon on a regular basis. I go back to catch in Route 1 and 201. I get a Bidoof. Now, because Chimchar was a gift Pokemon, I didn't really count them. I think in future things I'm going to be more careful, especially since they do have the where you got it from place and where it hatched, and that allows you to really keep track of where things are. That's one time I also use the PC to see where I've caught Pokemon. Now this Bidoof was such a pain. I used so many Pokeballs to get it. I couldn't do any damage to it because, like we saw before, one crit and that Bidoof is gone. So I decided just to keep throwing Pokeballs. And this is where the curse started. Durandal's misspelled name made it so difficult to catch this Bidoof. I kind of stare at my screen wondering what to do. Like, do I just kill it? Do I try to scratch it? I end up scratching it. And when I scratch it, it takes some damage and it doesn't die. That's the most important thing. So now I'm ready to throw a Pokeball. I'm like, I have to catch it now. Look at how low its health is. I throw a Pokeball. It goes in. I see one. And pop. It's gone. So I'm like, wow, this is quite the Pokemon, quite the Bidoof. I can't wait to use this Bidoof to own everyone. And I think this is the one where I finally catch it. I see the stars. I'm super excited. I'm starting to think of different names. What kind of name could I give this? I laugh because it's the plump mouse, even though it's more of a beaver. So I go through and I'm starting to think, and I come up with a name. It's named after the Japanese war club, Kanabo, but I misspell it. I get the A and the O switched up, and the curse continues. I ember this Bidoof, trying to get a little bit more experience. And I switch it because I do want to level up my Kanoba. And I kind of stare at it thinking about, oh man, I have definitely misspelled his name. But I do a little bit of research, figure out, okay, if I go to Eterna City, I'll be able to change these names and it'll be okay. I start leveling up Bidoof by using Chimchar to beat down on other Bidoofs. That way, poor little Kanabo doesn't have to hurt his friends. All the Bidoofs that he played with before he came to fight with me. Now this is my first use of the Pokemon Center, and this is the only time I'll be using this Pokemon Center. So I heal up my Pokemon, restore the power points. If I wanted to be, I should have been a little bit more careful to save this for another later time, because I still had plenty of embers, plenty of scratches. I was a little bit beat up, but I was trying to save the potions. I think that's what it came down to. I wanted to save the extra $300 for the potions because I couldn't really just spend that much money at this level. I get a little lost. I'm supposed to go tell my mom that I'm leaving on a journey to kick butt. I go watch TV before talking to her. And then she heals up my Pokemon. I didn't realize this was going to happen, so that marks off home from a place that I could heal my Pokemon. Now, my mom is lamenting me heading off into my own direction, so I feel a little bit bad for her, but this is what I gotta do. I gotta get going. And then Lich's mom comes in. It's like, have you seen him? And I'm like, oh boy, here I go. Taking care of Lich like I always have to do. Alright, and she gives me a parcel to take to Lich, and I start heading off. I just have to wait for them to stop talking. I dash off and start sprinting towards where I need to go. First I go check Lake Verity because I can catch a Pokemon there, and I want to fill out my team as much as possible. I go up, and I start beating up these Bidoofs. I think I only fight like 3 of them before I decide to give it a break. Because you don't want to spend a ton of time. The game was kind of a little bit laggy, so it was taking a little longer than I wanted it to. So I kind of killed this last one, and I start going off back to find where I need to be. I go up here, and I think now's when I decide that I just need to run because I need to save my power points. I'm not getting a ton of experience points from these Pokemon. Well, actually, I do kill this one, but I do eventually decide that lower level Pokemon in the wild are not going to be worth my time. They're not going to be worth the power points. So I explore some of the houses trying to find anyone who wants to give a little bit of charity to a new adventurer off with his Pokemon. And I wander around. I grab a little item down at the coast. I think it was a paralyzed heal, so that I can, take care of my Pokemon. I meet up with Dawn, and she decides to show me how to catch this bit of. Little does she know that I knew beforehand, and I already was on my way to catching Pokemon. But, the good sport I am, I let her show me. I let her practice her teaching skills because I feel like that's part of her credits with Rowan. She needs to be able to teach like 5 different people. I want to be able to help her with her homework. So I keep going through. I stare down this level 2 Bidoof, and I'm like, what do I do? I decide to tackle it with my Konoba so I can get him to start, getting some experience going. I was a little bit mad that I didn't 2-hit KO this Bidoof, but I keep going. I take him down. Konoba's at 7 hit points out of 19, less than half. I'm looking at this and I'm just like, okay, this is not going to be good. And I think seeing him there, I fight again. I go down to 3 hit points. I switch. Durandal comes out, takes a little hit. Embers. And now my Pokemon are both at half health. I see that trainer. I have to oh boy, I have to use my potions to heal these guys up. So I just do Durandal and Konoba, and I fight this dude. He's got a Starly, I think. Yeah, he's got a Starly that comes out, and that Starly kind of kicked Konoba's butt. Rather, I took a look at it, and I was trying to figure out, okay, do I want to waste time or do I want to get through this pretty quickly? I decide to attack with Konoba. He gets hit for a third of his hit points, basically. He takes 6 points of damage, and I switch out to Durandal. Durandal's going to take care of this little Starly real easily. I throw out an Ember because it has Stab. And Starly growls, and I'm like, yes, thank goodness for Ember, so I can get through, deal a special attack with my lowered attack, so that I just kind of bypass it. That's why I feel like mixed sweepers are really good in Nuzlocke, because if an attack gets nerfed by a status lowering move, you have another one. Tristan was a joke. I go up against his little friend over across the way. He's got a Bidoof. I think about what am I going to do against this Bidoof. So I kind of just let it go. I switched to Randall because I don't want to be just taking hits and having to use my potions. At this low level, when you don't have a lot of money, you kind of have to just train one Pokemon so you can start one-shotting them, so that you don't go through and lose too much money. Durandal handles it pretty easily, and I'm ready to keep going. Bidoof learned an attack, and yeah, that was my second trainer battle. Super piece of cake. Here's the Bidoof, and I get run away because now that I have trainer battles, I don't need wild battles to start leveling up my Pokemon. This dude sends out a burn me, and I'm like, oh, thank goodness, something I can one-shot. So I switch off to Durandal, and Durandal incinerates this little bug. I do take a hit, so that's a little bit of a bummer. That's why shift is a little bit rough sometimes, because you're going to take hits. You have to be able to know what works and what doesn't. So I punch him out and I start racing through. Oh, this is where I start looking for a Pokemon. I go through and I make sure that Starly is in this area, and once I figure out that he is, I go through. I see that item, I'm going to get that item, run away from the Bidoof, pick up the item, add it to my medicine case, and I finally find the Starly. And this curse, it continues, because I end up not naming this Starly after a weapon. I don't know what I named it after. I think I got my letters mixed up. I think I was going for Kusarigama, which is a ball and chain, a Japanese ball and chain. But I call it something else. I get the letters mixed up. I do a little bit of a tackle, then I switch out to Durandos because he can take the hits a lot better than Kanoba can. So, and then I throw a Pokeball, and this Starly also gives me a lot of issues. You're going to find that all these Pokemon give me a lot of issues, but that's okay. I love them all equally, even though they give me issues. So I keep going, keep fighting. I pray that this ball catches, and it does. I see those stars, and I'm like, yes. Now what to name it? Because I was thinking, this is the first girl. I should give her a name that suits her femininity, and I end up going with Kamaguri, which I don't know where that came from, honestly. I know Kama is like a sickles type weapon. I don't know what the Guri is. I thought it was the with chain part. So I name my Starly Kamaguri, and then I race off to Eterna City, where I'm met by Dawn another time to see what she has to teach me. So that's part 1. I'll see you guys next time.